Hey everybody, old folks here. Continuing the series on the beast souls and what you know I run or what I think should be ran on certain heroes. Obviously, sometimes it's an easy decision, sometimes it's a hard decision, sometimes it doesn't matter because you only have certain beast soul components. So I'm going to kind of get into that. I'm going to take a drink. I got a scratchy throat. Nothing I can do about it. Yeah, that's a 2-liter bottle. My wife doesn't like it when I do it, but she's not here, so it doesn't really matter, and she doesn't watch my channel. All right, so let's just jump right into this. So obviously, you've got your two choices. Basically, you've got your Thunder set, which basically is the Griffin series, and then you have your where did I got it right there? The Hydra. The Hydra set. They're both pretty similar in the sense of the Griffin set basically gives you just critical strike and attack damage. This one basically increases damage by 5% each level. So your single hits increases as it goes up. Here your damage is increasing your attacks up to 5 times. So basically right now at the set that I've got, I get an extra 70 attack damage every time I hit up to 5 times, which is 350 attack damage. Here there's nothing you can really do at this moment. I'm going to show you like here right now I can evolve because I've got enough. I don't have enough to actually here we go. Eventually I can go ahead and refine them more, but I'm currently out of refinement. So you'll notice it hasn't really changed it yet. I've still got to get the next one to purple 4. I haven't seen orange. Now the big thing is you want to talk about your hero. If they don't have AP, wow, that went up a lot. If you don't have AP, that was really nice. Then you don't want to put an AP item on a hero. So I go down here to Jolie. Jolie has AP, so she gets attack damage and ability power as well as the crit strike, which is kind of cool. I mean, who doesn't like basically even numbers? The cool part here is when you're in a negative state, you get 20% less. This negative state can come from a multitude of different things. It can be blindness, it can be sleep, it can be one of the other sets from the magic users, which is lowering your damage, or any of those other things. So anytime you get that negative state, you're taking 20% less, which guy hits you for 10 grand, you take 20% off that. I only took 8, which adds up. So it's a pretty phenomenal thing. I actually ran this for a while on Zoe just because I like the 20% reduced thing. Finally, Hydra will increase the critical strike and crit rate damage by 5% basically, for skill damage. Now, you say, well, is that better than this one or not? That's another reason why I ran it. Here I'm getting 350 attack damage, which isn't a ton. It isn't a ton, and the other's giving me 5% extra chance to crit, which if I hit for 10,000 damage and I crit, well, suddenly that's a lot more damage that I'm going to get. So I've swapped it both ways. I keep playing with it. I'm not sure where I'm going to go, but the majority of the time the decision's pretty easy. You want to crit. So especially if you're running a Lucifer team. Now, since I've started playing with Lucifer a little bit more, I've been more prone to put that extra crit coming off this set onto my Lucifer team. That's a great thing to think about. If you have a Lucifer and you're going to run a Lucifer team, put on them the Hydra set, because that's 5%. If you've got all 4 evolved, that's 5% more crit time. I mean, that adds up because you want him to be in that crit state. So if you got 3 guys wearing extra crit gear, you've got a much better chance of getting a crit, which puts him in the state where he does a lot more damage. Obviously here I'm running the same components. That's kind of where I'm at there. On him I'm running the Hydra. Why? Because I want the extra crit damage, because he's part of my crit team. Again, why am I running this? He's part of my crit team. In fact, I need to evolve him. I've been meaning to do that. Evolve. Okay, evolve. Awesome. And I don't have enough to... Let's just do that. You get to watch this. Isn't this awesome? You get to watch me do my stuff. Not really, but it is what it is. All right, so there it is. So he's got an extra 5% now, crit rate too. We get to people like Wreck, and it's like, you know, Wreck doesn't really have a, I'm not going to do any extra damage. Sure, maybe the 20% reduction would be great, but none of that's really key for me on him. So what do I do with him? I basically get the attack damage from both, and the crit strike damage. I mean, it's just not worth, it's not worth evolving it for me at this stage. I could basically run nothing on him, and I'd be fine, because he's not going to do massive damage. The crits are so rare, it's not even worth it. Again, here I am. At the time, I didn't have extra items, so I ran both. If I was going to run something on her, I'd probably run the crit rate. Definitely going to run the crit rate on her, because I want that to crit, because her ultimate crits a lot, and I really wanted to destroy that tank. Again, a lot of people run Sue with Lucifer up here. Sorry. And so again, you want that crit. Pearl's got a little bit of love in her. You know, it's really kind of that same thing. If, you know, I'm going to run probably a crit Hydra on her. Now again, you'll notice I don't have a full set, so I just put whatever I can and get it out from there. This one's another one of those, it doesn't really matter. I'm probably going to run crit rate. Again, I'm going to run a crit rate Hydra. I'm going to run on him I'm probably going to run the 20% reduction on him again also, just because I want him to stay alive. He's going to go into that main line. A crit rate. York, I'm probably going to run crit rate. Do you notice a trend here? Crit rate, crit rate, crit rate. The sad truth is the setup here, well, it's not necessarily terrible, it's not necessarily great. You know, it just isn't a it's just not something that screams to me, hey, you're awesome. It doesn't really seem like something I really go, wow, I need that. I'm looking here. Oh, that's the wrong one. Oh, I thought somebody had it. I was gonna evolve it up, but I don't see it. Let's see if it gives me, there it is. Bloop, bloop. All right, let's go here. Since I can, and I will, Marksman will evolve that. Yay! So now we hit level 3. So now basically he gets 500, or she gets 500 more damage, or attack power per hit, up to 5 times. So for the majority of the time, I'm gonna run, you know, crit rate, because a lot of times now you're wanting to build a Lucifer team. That's really great. You know, again, with the Marksmans, it doesn't make a huge difference. And again, if I got to choose between attack damage and getting a crit, I'm going to get the crit, because the attack damage isn't that great. So that's my opinion. Marksmen are kind of for, you know, choices. And it's kind of like the tanks. You really have one option. So let me know your thoughts. Looking forward to hearing from them. Talk to y'all later.